Welcome, one and all, to the Wondercat channel, source of all of your pauper needs and Digimon gremlinry. Today, we're going to turn up the heat to 11 and rock our way to victory with Jimmy Ken! One of our newest tamers being introduced in BT22. We're going to break down the deck a little differently this time. We're going to be jumping around a bit, so let me know if you prefer this versus the usual level 3, 4, 5, 6 lineup I do. So what does our favorite singer do? He is a 4-cost purple memory setter that when you play or digivolve a flame Digimon or one with the CS trait, suspend this tamer, activate that Digimon's main effect, and if you do, gain 1 memory. Flame Digimon only cover a very small set of Digimon, the Meramon line, but this is actually a really cool tamer because it does unlock the archetype to an extent. It gives the deck a relevant memory setter and actively enables both the Digimon themselves and extra memory gain. All in all, this card is hella hype, and we will run the full playset because of it. Our major payoff, however, and one of the biggest payoffs to this deck comes with BT22's Boltmon. The card almost made my jaw drop with just how cool it is. It's a 12k Digi for 4 or 3 on a Flame trait. The man has Rush. It gains all main effects of Flame Digimon underneath it, and when attacking once per turn, delete your opponent's Digimon with the lowest play cost. This card honestly inspired me to build the deck. It has Assembly 6, a really interesting trash-centric mechanic that when playing it, throwing 5 Flame trait Digimon with different card numbers underneath him cut his play cost by 6. This will incentivize us to play a bit more recklessly with our list. The coolest part about this, though, is the second you pull this off once, you can always just do it again a second or third time if they manage to remove Boltmon. He is the deck's boss monster, and rightfully so. A potential 6 cost 12k with Rush and a ton of inheritance is crazy value. It's no surprise we're going to be playing the 4 copies. Touching on the eggs, we're going to flex these around a little bit. This is an amazing way to actually get extra unique Flamons in trash to benefit off of Boltmon's assembly ASAP. Starting off with 2 copies of BT14's Demi Meramon on deletion, trash level 5 or higher, draw 2 from your hand. So not only does this go to trash and anything else that's on top of it, but we're going to draw an additional 2 cards. It's a very strong filter piece for the deck. Next, 2 copies of the BT3 Demi Mirror on deletion, draw 1, then trash 1 from hand. A bit more flexible on its usage, though it draws us less cards. The card does feel a bit more reliable. With that flexibility, we'll play the 2 copies. Lastly, a single copy of BT8's Demi Mirror. During your turn, once per turn, when a card is trashed from your deck, draw 1. This will work with a couple of our cards, but isn't going to be triggered every turn like in some other decks. It's less reliable, but it's the only egg that we can use more than once, since the other 2 are both on deletion. It's still fine to play. With these 3 eggs in trash alone, we've already covered half of Boltmon's assembly cost. I'm quite happy with how the egg lineup has turned out. But on to the rookies. It is rookie time. You're going to be surprised on some of the choices here. We do, in fact, not play any of the red Candlemons, which is disappointing. I do enjoy the idea of playing EX8 Candlemon. Instead, we're going to be playing 1 copy of BT3 Candle, a 2-cost vanilla 3k body rookie. It's fairly solid. It has no inherited, but will digivolve for free on all 3 of our eggs, and is another flame trait and unique card number for Boltmon. Another one of BT15's Candlemon. This little guy digis for 0 again on all our eggs, has no inherited, but has a nifty on deletion effect. If your opponent has 1 or less memory, draw a card. If your opponent has 1 or more memory, gain 1 memory. This card has a really funny interaction with a couple of our cards, which we will discuss soon. Because it doesn't generate too much value in terms of inheritance, the one of is fine for unique card number inclusion. Next, 2 copies of BT20 Candlemon, a 3-cost with Retaliate, which gives you a surprising amount of pressure early game, and with an inherited that on deletion, trash a card from your hand to delete a level 4 or lower, we get some added removal mixed in. Is honestly a pretty good candle, boy, so we're going to play 2. Our first playset of rookies, ST14 Candlemon. On play, trash the top 2 cards of your deck. On deletion, if you have 10 or more cards in trash, draw 1. So this isn't going to be our ideal raising target, but getting extra cards into trash to fill up on assembly helps. And if he does die whilst on board, he more or less replaces himself. Last of the rookies, 4 copies of yellow BT8 Candlemon. Another vanilla, but a really sweet inherited. During your turn once per turn, when you play another purple Digimon, gain 1 memory. This card slots perfectly on top of our Demi Mirrors, since he can Digi for free on purple, so he's actually the perfect raising Digimon for us. I very much doubt people aren't looking at this particular card and are revolving more around using more red cards like the X8 Candle and just red eggs in general. Supporting options like Missed Memory Boost, we're going to play 2 copies of. It helps fill up that trash with more cards and will also give us some card draw. It also triggers BT8 Demi Mirror. 3 costs when played, trash the top 2 cards of your deck, then draw 1 on delay, gain 2 memory. I was originally running the full playset here, but decided to split it and play 2 copies of Glaive Boost, just to ensure that we can recycle the cards as we need. Another 3 cost when played, return a Digimon card from trash to hand, on delay, gain 2 memory. We do, of course, play the 1 copy of Calling from the Darkness, which helps with the Glaive type effect, recycling our Digimon. And if we have BT15's Candlemon on board, we can pay the 1 memory for Calling, putting your opponent to 1 if we're at 0, nuking him to return 2 purple Digimon back to hand, which in turn triggers his on deletion effect, giving us a draw 1 and putting us back to 0 memory, essentially turning Call into a 0 cost deleted Digimon, add 3 to hand, which is pretty gross. One of the newest off-flavor CS additions to the deck is Devimon. When digivolving, if you have 1 or fewer tamers, play a Jimmy Ken for free. Digivolves for 2 on all of our level 3s, and it's inherited on deletion recycles of Flame Trade Digimon. This is really funny, actually, considering that because you can digivolve it on top of all of your flames, you can put this on top of the yellow Candlemon. It is looks really weird, but yeah. Every deck benefits off of free tamer players, and considering this card fits both its archetype and colors, makes it an auto include. Funnily enough, though, this Devimon has given us a reason to play a spicy copy of BT11's Angemon. Bet you didn't expect this card here. A 5k body for 5 on Digi on top of purple or yellow for 2, meaning he's benefiting off us not playing those red rookies. On deletion, if you have a purple Digimon or Tamer in play, play a Devimon from trash for free. This card keeps our board presence up and is a free destruction target for Call from the Darkness, as well as our 1 copy of Demonic Disaster. By deleting one of your Digimon, unsuspend one of your purple Digimon. Deleting Angemon with this and a stack of BT3 Mirror and Candle, we get to draw 1 trash, another card to delete a level 4, then reanimate a Devimon from trash, then unsuspend something to swing with it again. Like, wow. Demonic Disaster is a great combo card, though is generally bricky without a proper board state, which is why you'll see it as a one-of in most lists I cover. Coming back to Angemon, though, he combos perfectly with our supporting tamer, 2 copies of Alice McCoy. When digivolving from level 5 to 6, delete a Digimon you control to reduce the digicost by 3. This means that a well-timed Angemon with this on board not only gives you a free digivolution, but Angemon will replace himself, guaranteed, with that Devimon from trash. The best part of this combo comes out with playing 2 copies of Anubismon. When digivolving, play a level 3 from your trash for free. When you play a Digimon from trash, it gains Rush. Correctly resolving all of your effects and digivolving into Anubismon, you can have your newly summoned Devimon Rush and bring back a purple Candlemon. If you have BT8's Candlemon underneath Anubis, get another free memory for all that easy work you just did. The weakest part of our list, though, comes with a single copy of BT3 Meramon. It digivolves for 1, but will only digivolve off of our purple rookies. It's a vanilla 5k for 5 with no inherited. It's only here as trash fodder and to bump up that unique card number for Bolt. Our level 4s will get better, though, because BT22 also gives us a new Meramon, another 5k 5 cost, Digi for 2 on all our rookies. Once per turn, main effect, pay 2 memory, giving itself raid and piercing for the turn, then it may attack. The wordings on these are important for Jimmy, since we can digivolve over 0 memory, then using Jimmy Ken to trigger Meramon's effect for 2, gaining back a memory and swinging, essentially turning Meramon into a raid piercing blitz Digimon. Inherited during your turn, gets plus 2k. A bit boring as an inherited, to be honest, but we know Boltmon caring about the main effects of our flame traits. The inherited is just icing on the cake. It will be an ideal level 4 for it, so we're going to play 4 copies. But finally, getting around to our level 5s, Blue Meramon, 2 copies. When digivolving, draw 2, trash 2. It's great for our assembly game plan. Man also has Retaliate, so we can swing into bigger mons, which can come in handy. Inherited all turns. When you play a Digimon by an effect, gain a memory. As we saw with the Gizmon list, Blue Meramon is best friends with Anubis, allowing us to generate some sweet value. If we go back to a previous example with Angemon on board, we can delete him, play the Digi into Anubis on top of this, play Candlemon, gain 2 memory back with this, and BT8 Candle underneath. Anubis is balanced, by the way. The next of our level 5s, though, comes from BT22 as well. 3 copies of Skull Meramon. Digi for 3 with the Flame trait or CS. We can't forget about Devimon. Main effect, pay 3, delete an opponent's level 5 or lower. If the effect doesn't delete, it gets Sec 1 and may attack. On deletion, draw 2, trash 1. This card is so sweet. I've said it in the past that level 5s tend to be a little weird in terms of both strength and workability in lists. We're not going to acknowledge how strong Boss Demon is. But they've definitely given us enough of a reason to play this bad boy in the deck. Our BT22 Meramon underneath it turns him into a 9k body, so he's going to be killing everything that isn't a level 6 in security, so he can apply some decent pressure. And yes, his effect is a main triggering effect, meaning he will reduce the cost by 1 if you use the Jimmy here, and you can use it when going over memory. Inherited on deletion, play a level 4 lower CS Flame trait from Trash for free. This card doesn't waste a single part of its text. It's a very strong level 5 for the list. But with Skull Meramon discussed, we can discuss his brother Blue Meramon. BT22's Blue Meramon, we're also going to play 3 copies. Man has Alliance, of all things, and main effect by paying 3. Play a level 5 or lower Flame or CS trait from Trash, then Blue Meramon may attack. Because you play your Digimon unactivating this main effect, then declaring an attack if you wish, you can use your freshly reanimated target to Alliance with. A nifty little interaction and feels very similar in playstyle to the Adventure Metal Garurumon. Note that Devimon also plays Jimmy for free on Digivolving, only on Digivolving, so he isn't an ideal reanimation target usually. Inherited, this Digimon will gain, with the Flame CS trait, will gain Alliance. He's not as useful here since our level 6 lineup does consist of a couple non-Flame traits, like Anubismon. Speaking of which, we do have one more to discuss, a single copy of Titamon, a beefy 12k body with piercing. When Digivolving, trash up to 3 cards, then suspend a Digimon your opponent controls for each card trashed. Then for each suspended Digimon your opponent has in play, gain a memory. He's a hefty 4-cost Digi, but will cost us 1 if we want to use Alice. If we get full value out of his effects, we're getting back 3 or more memory, depending on your opponent's board, going +2, which is pretty sweet, ignoring other potential memory gain on our inheritance. If you don't like Titamon, you could probably play the 3rd copy of Anubis, but I like the control aspect of Titamon. And in case you hadn't been counting, we've got 1 card left to discuss, a single copy of Jackraid. We already toy with memory gain, and with the large amount of trashing we do, a late game Jackraid prior to assembling a Boltmon can almost make him free. Jackraid's security giving 2 memory is also just funny, can end an opponent's turn. It was not originally in the list, but the more I looked over it all, it just felt kind of silly not to include it. The deck is probably the thing I'm most excited for in BT22 so far. It's going to breathe new life into a relatively underwhelming archetype that currently exists. The deck list is going to look cheap due to cards' unavailability. It hasn't been printed yet, but it's going to average around the 20 mark as expected with other lists I have previously covered. You can, of course, make this deck a little prettier with the alt art of Jimmy that we have been given, adding some pizzazz and fire to an already smoking looking list. Deck list is up on screen for you lovely rock stars. I hope to see it running around at events in future. Let me know what you think down below, whether or not I'm cooking with that yellow Candlemon and the Angemon inclusion, or if I've spent too long in the kitchen and I need to get out. As always, though, don't forget to like and sub, and I'll see you all in the next Wondercat channel video. Ta-ta.